Welcome to the StarCraft Inc. Gamers coverage of the StarCraft 2 beta. This is the complete noob's guide to Terran Tier 1. We're looking at a replay of a game. This is available to all players by accessing a small camera icon from your main screen. There are some very important tools here, some of which are good for, like the name says, rewatching games. But it also gives us a chance to evaluate how well we're playing, how poorly we're playing, why something worked, or why something went wrong. One of these tools is available by hitting your F12 key, the Help menu. Currently, tips and tutorials are disabled for the beta. However, the tech tree and units are available. When we say Terran Tier 1, we're discussing a level of Terran development that does not follow the entire tech tree. The video you're watching today is going to stop right about this line here. We should talk at least briefly about everything leading up to that point. In future videos we'll talk Terran Tier 2 and Terran Tier 3, although currently in the beta these definitions are a little muddy. This is an excellent tool for looking at what the Terran is capable of, or Protoss, or Zerg. Even if you only play Terran, it's good to know what you can come up against. Additionally, the Units tab is of vital importance, in my opinion, for some little information it presents. You get a nice animation, of course, shows us what the unit uses while they're in combat, or while they're repairing, or while they're healing. It also gives a little indication about what you should use these things against, and maybe what you should avoid. Now those are balance issues, and of course balance is going to be fine-tuned, changed, improved over the course of the beta. What you're seeing from today's video may not be accurate as the beta progresses or the game ships. We expect to update these videos when that occurs. So the first thing we'd like to take a look at is the Terran SCV. This is your basic Terran worker unit. All races have a basic worker. For the Protoss it's probes, for the Zerg it's drones. The basic worker collects minerals,
SCV ready.
Collects Vespene gas, builds buildings in one manner or another, and a special ability for the Terran SCV is the ability to repair buildings or units. Not every building, not every unit, but it is a unique ability for the Terrans.
SCV ready.
Now, like most games, you will begin by trying to build up your economy. At the moment, we're building almost as many SCVs as possible in order to collect minerals. Minerals are what we're going to be using to buy our first couple buildings. This SCV is building a supply depot. All of the races are dependent on some external mechanic for controlling the size that their army can be. For the Terrans, being a human-styled military, their military is limited by how much supply is available. This is food, this is repair, this is other assorted things covered by this supply mechanic. The available Terran supply is displayed up here next to the portrait in the upper right-hand corner. We've also just built a refinery. Refinery is what allows the Terrans to harvest Vespene gas. This is another component of the Terran.
SCV ready.
This is another component of the Terran economy. Simple basic units will only require minerals. Advanced units will also require Vespene gas. This SCV has just been sent out to build a barracks. The barracks is the major building for Terran ground troops. Once the barracks is completed, we will have the ability to train Marines, and with a little bit of extra work, we can also create other units at the barracks. You can see why this would be of vital importance to the Terran and their ability to win a game. So the barracks is complete, and initially we have the ability to train Marines, or we can add on little sub-buildings that increase the abilities of this building. One of these is the Tech Lab. The Tech Lab will unlock the ability to train Marauders or Reapers, and eventually, with the addition of another building, Ghosts.
SCV ready.
Or we could build the reactor add-on. This would allow the barracks to train 2 units at the same time.
SCV ready.
Although, this is limited to Marines at the moment, as the Tech Lab is required for Reapers or Marauders or Ghosts.
Add-on complete.
Here we're building a bunker. A bunker is a defensive building that will add extra protection to the units that are inside of it. A very classic strategy is to build a few bunkers near the choke point leading into a base, fill them full of Marines, or what have you as far as ground units go, and from there, have a chance at lasting into the mid-game. Something else interesting that just occurred. While building the barracks, while building the bunker, I have set the barracks rally point to the bunker. So as soon as the Marine was finished training, he moved immediately into the bunker. The Marauder and Reaper will follow suit.
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Now, we're building an engineering bay in order to unlock some additional abilities. The command center initially is limited to building SCVs. When we built the barracks, we unlocked the ability to upgrade the command center to be an orbital command center. This adds some extra abilities to the command center. We will see that shortly. Here we're building a missile turret. Now the missile turret is very important to the Terrans because it is an anti-air unit building. It is also a detector unit, meaning stealth or buried units will be visible when your opponent has moved them into range of a missile turret. And here finally we've built a sensor tower. Now both the sensor tower
SCV ready.
and the missile turret were not available to us before we built the engineering bay.